Escanor, no! They killed my man Escanor, bro. Why you have to do him like that? The Lion Son of Pride is dead, bro. Why you have to do that to my man, bro? Bro, I ain't actually gonna cry right now, but yeah. What's up, guys? It's that guy with the pencil, and let's get into it. So yeah, he's gone. He's, everyone says this about Tai that no one really dies, and honestly, they're right. I can't really think of that many major characters that died and stayed dead, unless you want to count like some commandment members. So when they kept foreshadowing Escanor's death, with him coughing blood, saying sunshine takes too much of a toll on his body, all this stuff like that, I was taking it with a grain of salt. Always. I'm just like, yeah, you're saying that, but he's gonna be. It's Escanor. I don't know why would you kill Escanor? Am I right? I mean, come on, it's Escanor. Everyone loves Escanor. If you don't love Escanor, you're wrong. You're entitled to your wrong opinion, but you're wrong. That's just the thing. Escanor is fantastic. Honestly, one of the best characters in Seven Deadly Sins, and a fantastic character across anime and manga in general. So when this chapter opens up with Zeldris and Gelda just leaving, and we just cut back to honestly this beautiful image of Escanor's final embers just burning up, his body finally giving out, because he did it. He put all his life force into maintaining the power of the One beyond that minute, and he's just slowly burning out, and like everyone's sad, and I'm sad too, because it's just like I feel like I know Escanor. And I know that seems like a strange thing to say, but like I feel like through watching this character grow and develop from just this prideful, arrogant man, just slowly breaking him down, slowly realizing why he's so prideful, because he's so lonely, and the fact that the Seven Deadly Sins was this only family that he could ever have, and these are the people that finally accepted and he identified with, and that he gave up everything, the ultimate price. He gave up his life for this family that he got so late in his life after being betrayed at such a young age by his family. It's just, it's so sad just to see him go, because you feel like of all characters to die, it shouldn't be Escanor, because Escanor has just done so much for 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 being the only like human. Now Bond is, but for being the only human out of the Seven Deadly Sins, Escanor has brought so much to the table the moment he popped up. In modern, he was the first person to defeat not one but two commandments, the biggest new threat. He came out and avenged Meliodas by destroying Estarossa. He came in, he one-shotted Zeldris. He scared Chandler and Cusack. He came in, he 1v1 the Demon King. He was the one who came back and saved Gilthunder, Hauser, and Griamore from the Endura spot. Escanor has literally done so much. I know people are gonna say like, "Oh, did he go through thousands of years in purgatory to go save Meliodas?" No, he didn't. Before human, for a human in this series where everyone's either a mortal, a demon, a goddess, a fairy, a giant. For him to do so much with just a human lifespan and the willpower of Escanor, that is respectable. And like I respect Escanor as a character. I feel so bad that he is gone. And you know what? Maybe I'm getting all sad and in my feelings over nothing. Maybe he's gonna come back. Honestly, at this point, I kind of don't want him to come back because that would really devalue it. But even if he did, I'd be happy. Like this is a bro. You shouldn't have. You didn't have to take this character from me. Like Demon Slayer. I'm gonna cut over to a completely different series. One of the reasons why the Pillar's deaths never really hit me that hard was because after spoilers. Obviously, I already spoiled a little bit, but spoilers for Demon Slayer. If you haven't read it, go read it. Go watch it. When Goku died, I knew about Shinobu because I accidentally spoiled myself and I was just looking up her character design to draw her. But when Goku died, I felt like I was missing something. I was missing something personal with Rengoku because while he was a great character in the time he was on screen and he proved himself to be such a manly person, he was great. I didn't have the feelings that I got when Escanor, another fiery character, finally burned out his last embers. I think it's because like I Rengoku came in and plopped himself down as a fully complete character, and I'm fine with that. Like I like fully complete characters getting dropped in my lap. That's fun because I like to go backwards. I love working backwards when a character is introduced to me. However, when you introduce them and they die, especially in such a short time period, like Rengoku's introduction to his death is I'm not even sure if it's like 30 chapters. The Infinity Train arc is a good arc, but like I personally never got that connected to Rengoku. Even after they tried to retroactively go and tie Tanjiro into his character. I'm going so far and right on Demon Slayer. But I'm gonna get back to the point, don't worry. So once they went so far after the fact, it was like window dressing. Like he was already dead. Like the emotional pain you wanted me to feel is already too late. You already burned that up. You can't bring that back and try to make me sad anymore. I've already gotten over it. So what works so well about this Escanor death is not only a because it was foreshadowed. It was foreshadowed honestly. How long ago? It's like it was pre the 300s. It was at least I forget. It was before they even invaded where Meliodas' cocoon was when he coughed up blood into his hand. I'm pretty sure even before that, there was some foreshadowing in Escanor even before that that revealed that he was gonna die. Because I think they were always talking about how sunshine takes such a toll on Escanor's body. So he was already he had the death flag planted the moment they brought that up, and the way they just kept emphasizing it. And I think what gets me even more about this is because I'm not expecting it because of Taizai. Because no one dies in Taizai. That's the thing. Everyone comes back in some way, shape, or form. Henriksen didn't die. Dreyfus didn't die. Bond didn't die. None of these people died. And whenever they did, Elaine, not Bond. Elaine didn't die. She ended up coming back. Like all these characters that I personally don't have that much investment in always came back. So I'm figuring, okay, so any of the main seven aren't ever gonna go. So when Nakaba rips Escanor away from me, when he takes out the last piece of that family, and I just thought about that. It is so sad now that I think about it that Escanor, the last person who came into this family, is the first to go. That is so sad. I didn't even think about that, but it's true when you think about it. In his chapter, it was revealed that he was the last person to join up with the seven deadly sins, and he's the first person who died, and probably the only person who's gonna die now that I think about it. Bro, that's so. Now, but you did that on purpose. So you really trying to get me in my feel. I feel like I'm about to cry. But I won't. This. Let me back to the rest of the chapter because I'm getting so wrapped up in how I feel about this. That's good. That's good. Like this is superb writing. Taizai, you were dropping off for a little bit, but you picked it back up and you've just been killing it writing wise. Power scaling wise, but writing wise, you are going nuts and it works so well. So let me get into the rest of this chapter. So everyone's sad that Escanor is dying. Same here, and he's saying his final goodbyes and he's just thanking everybody, and then he finally just turns to Merle, just like, you know, I love you, and it's not because you just remind me of Rosa. It's because you never showed any fear of me. You were always intrigued with me. You gave me that attention, that kind of interest that I never got. And I love you for that. And I'm thankful for everything you've ever done for me. Bro, that was so real. Like that was those were some of his final words. He saved he used his last words on Merlin. And then when Merlin starts to approach him, Escanor is still, even though he's the one who's dying, he's the one who's burning out. Escanor's the one that's just like, no, stay back. Stay back. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to hurt you. But Merlin's just like, why'd you have to leave like this? Where were you 3,000 years ago? Like, oh, and then she kisses him. And she gets the burn on her face. And what really gets me about what Merlin says here is, I never want these burns to heal. I never want them to heal because this is the symbol of our connection. The only man who's able to burn his everlasting impressions on my cold heart. And it's beautiful. And what makes it even better, at least for me, is that Escanor knows Merlin's sin. Like the sin of gluttony. At least that's what he says. He doesn't know for sure, but he has his guesses, and he's pretty sure he's right. And even Merlin's just like, you know. And Escanor doesn't care. That's what makes it beautiful for me. Escanor does not care about the sin. He is just so in love with Merlin, the person, that it's honestly beautiful, and it's so sad that he burns away. He even thanks, I'm pretty sure, I don't have the chapter open in front of me, but he even thanks Mael for letting him do this, for letting him burn up and give his all for his family one last time. Bro, this is good character writing. This is how you kill a character. This isn't no character assassination in the bad way. This is character killing in a fantastic way. I think over 200 chapters of Escanor being in the manga, and this is the perfect conclusion to his character, because he just burns up, not even in a gigantic pride flare of heat and destruction. He goes away like a warm summer breeze, his ashes blowing away into the wind. That's beautiful. That is honestly beautiful. There's no other way you could have let that character go out. That would have been this satisfying. So, honestly, this chapter, bro, I'm like, this is a 10 out of 10. This may be me being a Escanor hype beast right now, but I have to say, every time Escanor's on screen, the series gets better. It ranks up and out. And note, even times like before Escanor and when Escanor's on screen, it's still normally good, but Escanor just brings it up to that next level. Now he's gone. And, bro, it was so worth it. It was so worth the wait. It's been such a journey with Escanor. I started reading Taizai about, 2, maybe 3 years back. And when I got to Escanor, I knew personally, this is going to be one of my favorite characters, probably ever. And he has most certainly taken that spot. He is definitely up there in some of my favorite characters of all time. So, yeah, that's my feelings, bro. I'm actually so unbelievably sad that he's gone. Like that's just crazy for me. It may not be hitting other people as hard. Maybe I'm just overreacting. Maybe I'm too deep into it. Maybe I need to pull back, but I'm just so happy that he went out in this way. Shoot, I don't even really feel like doing next week chapter predictions. But honestly, I can literally just see it happening again. No, not it happening again. I can see Arthur finally popping up, because now that balance is no. Next week's chapter is probably also going to be a resolution chapter, only for Nakaba to pull the rug out from under us again, and be like, well, now darkness and light are unbalanced. Here comes the supreme deity to drop down from the celestial realm and mess stuff up. Because at least the impression I got is that Meliodas gave up his powers to destroy the Demon King. At least I think he gave up that strength, or he used it. It's one of the two. But if he gave up that strength, that means the Sins are kind of outmatched and destroyed. Because if the supreme deity is as powerful as the Demon King, and they lost Escanor, that means it's only King, Bond, and at best Assault Mode Meliodas. So it's gonna that's gonna be an intense fight if that occurs. Those are like the only three fighters they got now. Now Escanor's gone. So yeah, I can see something like that. I feel like next week is just gonna be another like winding down chapter, only for the rug to just be yanked. Because I remember someone said Taizai was supposed to be ending the summer of this year, and obviously we're deep into fall, approaching winter, and it's still not over yet. So I wouldn't be surprised if we. I wouldn't be surprised if we get to 400 chapters. I know that may sound crazy, but like I wouldn't be surprised because there are just so many unanswered questions left in the series. Like, what happened to all the Graces? Especially now that Escanor's dead, all the Graces now are just floating about. Are they gonna wait for new vessels? What is gonna happen with the Supreme Deity? Is she just not gonna do anything? Is Elizabeth just gonna stay Elizabeth? Are they really just gonna go to the demon world? Because it seems like where Gelda and Zeldris are going, and while they could live together in harmony, I feel like if Meliodas gave up his powers, he doesn't need to leave the mortal realm anymore. Um, Three, there are unanswered questions about Arthur, King Arthur. Like, is this gonna lead into a spin-off series? Because Merlin was smiling at the lake when the magic was trapped in there, and Hawk Mom is on her way. And Hawk Mama already said, Mother of Chaos, if you didn't know. Mother of Chaos already was talking to Hawk. It's just like, the order of light and balance has been destroyed. A new king must come through and restore order. I'm just like, oh, well, the new king kind of has to be Arthur because Arthur was in her eye. I'm not sure if the Mother of Chaos ate Arthur or something like that. I remember that was way, way back now. But yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. I'm willing to see where Taizai go. Will it end here and just cut off into a spin-off series or a sequel? I'd be fine with that. I don't really mind. Um, will it just continue from here on? I'm totally fine with that too. If the writing stays this top notch, if Nakama Sensei doesn't drop the ball like he did for a little bit when the Demon King came back in Zeldris' body, if he doesn't drop the ball like that again, then we're good. We're good. We can just roll on for a while. So yeah, that's my opinions on this chapter this week. Gee, this review came out way longer than I wanted it to, so I'm just gonna cut it off right here. So this is that guy with the pencil. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that little notification bell if you want more content like this, and to always be notified when my content goes up. Because the way YouTube works, I don't know if y'all see my videos, so I just gotta hope that you click subscribe and you hit that notification bell. Reviews are going to start coming this way, and only this way, because Fiction Friday was fun for reviews, but I actually want to use Fiction Friday for something else now. So that's going to be repurposed as a series. However, I do want to do reviews because I love talking about manga weekly and stuff like that. It's just interesting to talk to you guys about. So yeah, this is that guy with the pencil, writing off.